Our media from across the state are at the prison in Jackson where executions are carried out, including our own Randall Savage and Sophia Danner-Okotie. Let's join Sophia outside the prison.
That's right. They've moved us across the street into the state diagnostic prison. Where we're standing at right now is in front of the protest area. Take a look behind me. There are about a dozen protesters here holding up signs. They're just trying to stop this execution from happening. Of course, Gissendanner's attorneys are also trying to stop this execution from happening. But yesterday, the federal courts denied an appeal. And as of 2:30 today, the State Board of Pardons and Parole denied clemency, even after hearing from her oldest son pleading with them to spare their mother's life. Now, the case right now rests in the hands of the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals and the U.S. Supreme Court. And according to CBS, Pope Francis himself pleaded that Gissendanner's life be spared. Frank, Lori.
Thank you, Sophia. 13 WMAZ's Randall Savage will be a designated media witness to the execution.
We're in front of the protest area right now where I'm seeing a lot more people pulling up. They're back there, they're holding signs, two wrongs don't make a right. I just spoke to a family representative who tells me that her 3 children are going to be back there, but she has requested that they do not witness this execution. Our very own Randall Savage was just taken back there a few minutes ago to be a witness to this. And we're told that Gissendanner has released her final statement and she has also refused to take the sedative. Reporting in Jackson, Sophia Danner-Okotie, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Sophia. We'll continue to keep you posted on 13WMAZ.com and on
injection at 7 p.m. tonight. However, appeals by her attorneys have delayed the execution. Around 8:30 this evening, the U.S. Supreme Court denied a stay of execution for Gissendanner.
Media from around the state are waiting for the Gissendanner lethal injection to take place, including Randall Savage and Sophia Danner-Okotie. Sophia joins us from outside the prison.
In front of the protest area where over 100 people are packed here. Now, throughout the evening, I've heard them singing, I've heard them praying, and some of them just talking about who Kelly Gissendanner is as a person. Take a look behind me. A lot of these people right now are chatting, and some of them are actually sitting down. Some of them I see seem to be marching around. Now, not too long ago, Kayla Gissendanner, who is Kelly's daughter, joined this crowd of people thanking them for their support. She told them to keep standing and the fight is not over. One lady back here that we spoke to who says she was in the same prison as Kelly Gissendanner says this execution is unfair to Kayla and her siblings.
There's a better way. Life with no parole would be unacceptable. Alternative to execution. She has 3 children that are being victimized again. They are the innocent one in this. Doug was a victim, but his children were a victim too.
This execution could happen any minute now, and we will keep you updated once we get any word. Live in Jackson, Sophia Danner-Okotie, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.
Hi, thanks, Sophia, for that live update.
We will continue to update this story online at 13WMAZ.com as more details become available.
Tallahassee County Sheriff's deputies investigate.
We go straight out to Jackson, where more than 100 gathered today, holding vigil for a woman they say wasn't the same person convicted of murder 17 years ago. Sophia Danner-Okotie begins our live team coverage from the prison.
Over 100 people still behind me protesting this execution. Our very own Randall Savage is actually back in the prison. He's a witness to this execution. Now, I just want to cut to some video from earlier to show you some of the signs that these protesters are holding up. One man held a sign stating 155 death row prisoners found innocent. Another sign we saw put up stated, "Thou shalt not murder," period. And one more sign we caught up with was, "Don't replicate the crime." Not too long ago, Kayla Gissendanner joined this crowd behind me. Here's some video she actually, a family representative sent us in the huddle that she was in with some of these protesters. She appreciated everyone here for fighting for her mother. She thanked them and she also joined them in prayer as well. Here's a bit of what she had to say to protesters.
Here is so incredible. There are tons of you. We just want to thank y'all so much. We were not able to see our mom today because the boards of pardons and paroles made us make a choice to either come try and save her life today or go see her. So we chose to try and save her life, and they still denied us today. So we want y'all to know that we are still fighting. Do not lose your faith. This is not over. There's a reason that we didn't get to see her today, and hopefully that's because we're going to see her again this weekend. So stay strong.
Once again, Randall Savage is back there in the prison as a witness to this execution. We will speak to him later on in the show about his observations. Sophia Danner-Okotie, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Sophia. Now, as we Danner, the only woman on Georgia's death row, her fate sits in the hands of the U.S. Supreme Court. We join Sophia Danner-Okotie live in Jackson with more.
Just a few moments ago, we learned that Kelly Gissendanner's attorneys filed another stay of execution with the U.S. Supreme Court. This is their last hope, their final hope in trying to save her life. And behind me, these protesters, over 100 of them, are still here protesting this execution. Some of them are standing, some of them are seated down. Actually, I just heard a few of them praying just a few minutes ago. We will keep you updated on this as we get more information on the execution online and via social media. For now, I am live in Jackson. Sophia Danner-Okotie, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.
And again, the U.S. Supreme Court now hearing a
Georgia's only woman on death row was executed by lethal injection earlier this morning.
Kelly Gissendanner was convicted of murder in 1997 in the stabbing of her husband, Douglas Gissendanner. Prosecutors say she recruited her boyfriend to take out the murder.
Our Randall Savage was a witness to the execution, and Sophia Danner-Okotie was outside the prison in Jackson. She has more on the night's events.
She apologized for what she did. She said she was sorry that that amazing man lost his life because of her.
Those are some of Kelly Gissendanner's final words. 13 WMAZ's Randall Savage witnessed the early Wednesday morning execution and says she was emotional.
She began singing Amazing Grace and sang it all the way through.
After 3 last-minute appeals to the Supreme Court were denied, the state of Georgia proceeded with the execution. At 12:21 a.m., she was pronounced dead. But before then, protesters stood for hours, holding signs, singing, and praying. Some were her former prison mates.
Wrong, and she should be punished, but there's a better way. Life with no parole would be an acceptable, alternative to execution. She has 3 children that are being victimized again. They are the innocent one in this. Doug was a victim, but his children were a victim too.
One of those children, Kayla Gissendanner, stopped by, appreciating her mother's supporters.
To see y'all here is so incredible. There are tons of you. We just want to thank y'all.
Kayla and her siblings did not witness the execution. Kelly Gissendanner requested they don't. In Jackson, Sophia Danner-Okotie, 13 WMAZ Eyewitness News.
Gissendanner's then boyfriend received a punishment of life with the possibility of parole.
Now, Pope Francis was also among the voices that called for a stay of Gissendanner's execution.
He is at the Vatican after a 6-day visit to the United States. He sent the letter yesterday through a representative.
And the letter said that while he